Welcome back to the Grim Workshop Trapping School. Today we're going to learn a trick when you're baiting the split stick deadfall trap. This is found on the Callie Russell signature card as well as the Jordan Jonas version 1 and version 2 signature cards. So here's the three components on the split stick deadfall trap. So here's the trap all put together, ready to go. Now if you have trouble getting this far or you don't quite understand how the trap functions, go ahead and refer to the first video in the series. But what we're going to focus on specifically in this video is our bait pin. So there's our bait pin, and we haven't really talked a whole lot about this yet. We can see it's got this hook on the top, and that's going to be great to bait it and just to make the animal struggle a little bit to set the trap off. You don't want it to come in from the side, be able to just grab the bait and just take off with it. A lot of primitive traps just rely on a pointed stick, and in this case you would just slip your bait on here, and then what you don't want to have happen is you just see how easy that comes off. Now there is a lot of tricks to this. You can split this stick. I would take this and chew it. I would make this more of a mush, and I would break this down into the fibers, but that's gross and you really don't need to see me chewing on a piece of meat and putting it on a stick on a video. But the barb does a lot better job just to hold it in place. So here's that same little piece of jerky, and I'm just gonna impale it here. And it kind of broke off a little bit, but you see it doesn't pull off as easy. As I'm pulling it, it kind of hooks on here, but it still can be stolen. So you can see I've got a little bit of that jerky still attached to the barb. So that barb does a great job, much better than a pointed stick. But we're going to utilize the hole that's supplied, and we're actually going to tie our bait on. So the hole's kind of small in the bait pin anyway, and I'm just going to use something that you've probably got with you. So I'm just going to take a paracord inner strand, and you're not going to need a lot of this. So this inner strand of paracord works pretty good. The sharpened tip of the bait pin is right here. It's actually sticking out. So we're not just tying it on, we are utilizing the barb as well. And there's nothing real fancy about the knot I'm going to use. I'm just going to wrap it a couple times. Any knot you want to do on this is going to be just fine. So now we got a lot going for us here. We're utilizing the barbs. I've pulled that paracord tight so it's actually inside the meat as well. So I'm sure that's going to have a little bit of flavor if a mouse or something was pulling on it. And all this is doing is this is creating us more time. So the animal's going to spend more time under the deadfall weight in our kill zone and a better chance that we're going to catch it. Here's our trap assembled, and then we utilize the hook on this bait pin as well as that hole to tie on our bait. So let me get our balance point here. So we can see we're all tied on, and now the animal has to spend more time under here working at the bait, and that's going to give us a better chance of tripping the deadfall. So that's a pretty slick way to keep your bait from getting stolen and to let the animal spend more time under the kill zone of the trap. Now, even if that hole wasn't there, you might be thinking, well, I could just tie this on a stick if I was primitive trapping. Absolutely, you could. That's a pretty good idea, and this option that's available on the Grim card is something I would personally do on my primitive traps as well. I think that's a great option, but that hole does one more function, and I'm going to show you that in the next video.